Hello, my name is Kathy, and today I'll be discussing Saturn in Aries. But before I do this, I wanted to let you know that because I have a great many videos now on many different topics, that I've decided to make several different video playlists so that it's easier to find the videos of greatest interest. So please check out my playlist page. Saturn and Aries people are resourceful when it comes to thinking up new ways to put themselves down. Their self-doubts make them rather cautiously self-defensive, leaving them stiff and reserved in reacting to new situations. These people doubt their ability and their right to fight for their own existence and survival, which in reaction may make them overdo it. In competitive situations, they are slow and cautious, finding it difficult to express their inner being to the outer world, though perhaps they tend to attack people first through fear of being attacked themselves. Their doubts make them slow to enter into new experiences, but only new experiences can lead on further, thus leaving them frustrated with their scope in the world. They would love to have the status of being first and best in something. Inferiority feelings make them want to prove their superiority, and they may fight long and hard, largely within themselves, to achieve that aim. They would love to flow freely and spontaneously out into fresh experiences, but undermine their own efforts through self-doubt. These people have difficulty because they feel a great need to be on the defensive all the time, and people are not always opposed to their point of view or their desires. Saturn and Aries people do not like to feel uncertain, powerless, or out of control. Thus, a long-range aim in their life is likely to be to find order in themselves as much as in all else. So, to research into laws, structures, and patterns of form is good for these people. They will find this much easier as they cease to inhibit themselves so much. They're capable of initiating new methods in whatever they do, through their tendency to be aware of or to research new frameworks of order, or to rebuild the old ones, wanting to strip down the old and rigid and squeeze new freedoms out of the law. When they set their aims, they are capable of getting stuck in and staying with it until the job is done. Yet in organizing things, slowness in accomplishing it is frustrating, and a newer impulse or interest tends to take over and override earlier drives and desires. When negatively expressed, the Saturn in Aries person runs the danger of falls and affecting the head area. They may have the feeling of banging their head against a brick wall when they try to fulfill their long-term aims. These people notice every delay and frustration, feeling that they cannot move as freely or as immediately as they want to, that life thwarts them. This is because they feel that they are not supposed to aim for or ask for what they want, because they are not supposed to be selfish. Often this pattern is set by a dominating parent. This can leave them with a lot of pent-up aggressive resentment, which in adulthood may emerge as a self-willed or self-controlled thrust to get what they want no matter what, or who stands in the way, or to feel justified in being pessimistic about any new possibility in their lifetime. All of this may be tangled up by them not wanting to be disciplined, ruled, or controlled by anyone but themselves. And if they build any strong resistance against being pushed by anyone, they may equally resist being pushed by themselves. It is certain that they will not be happy until they use their self-discipline and active organization abilities to fulfill their goals, and thus finding along the way that no one but themselves has been stopping them. When negatively expressed, the Saturn in Aries person may be a puritanical despot, the terror of their home, office, or community. These people are likely to be lonely and friendless because their depression and whining complaints may get on everybody's nerves. The only lesson they may have learned from a domineering father is how to be even more oppressive and severe as a parent or boss. These people may try to reform others for their own good and make their lives a misery. They could be a typical zealous missionary type who sets out to save an uncivilized people, but succeeds only in destroying their culture and self-respect. These people may be tortured by feelings of personal inadequacy and are likely to suffer from severe headaches, toothaches, deafness, or eye troubles. When positively expressed, the Saturn in Aries person has a strong sense of self-reliance and a keenness for duty, which impels the individual with this placement to persist indomitably through all troubles. It supplies the grit which motivates colonizers to tame wild jungles and to struggle against tremendous odds to introduce the benefits of civilization to Aboriginal peoples, who, for the most part, have slight interest in the niceties of modern cultures. Strong measures are required to accomplish rough work, and the person with Saturn in Aries has the force of character to endure hardships. They may not lead an easy life, for they will be compelled to pit their strength against seemingly insuperable obstacles. Usually they will succeed simply because no matter how difficult the going becomes, they continue to persevere. When Saturn in Aries is negatively expressed, it can arouse feelings of personal inadequacy. People of this type sometimes react against limitations by becoming disciplinarians, who assert themselves in aggressively authoritarian ways. They may have trouble standing up to a domineering father and compensate by becoming demanding parents themselves. A driving ambition oscillates between harmony and interpersonal relationships. They are seldom sociable, since the capacity to exercise control and command respect demands a certain aloofness. Saturn in Aries people display energetic action that alternates with enforced delays, which produces false starts, spasmodic motion, and inner wear and tear. These contradictory pressures can result in a puritanical inhibition of fundamental instincts which smolder irritably beneath a rigid exterior until they erupt in outbursts of temper. Despite a strong drive for stability, the unruly nature of these people refuses to be subdued, which makes it difficult to impose lasting order. Although the Saturn in Aries person is by nature ambitious, the way up is extremely hard for these people. Despite these severe limitations, they are determined to succeed. The first half of these people's lives are usually the worst, but this is the time when they are likely to develop the strength of character that will eventually bring success. These people's best chance of making a name for themselves, which is what they really long to do, is through ventures that appeal to the public imagination. They are probably more capable of building a reputation than of becoming a millionaire. As they have a great desire for respect and esteem, this order of things will probably appeal to them. Their capacity to persevere in the face of seemingly overwhelming odds makes them an excellent pioneer type. These are the sorts of people who would disappear into a hostile wilderness for years, undergoing tremendous deprivations, and finally emerge with the Holy Grail to immense public acclaim. Saturn in Aries people are not the type of people who get along very well with others. They are more a loner or a toiler type of person, in the beginning at least, often a loser. They continually feel frustrated. The pace of their life never seems to synchronize with their lofty ambitions. They miss out on the big chance, arriving too early, too late, or they just don't hear about it. These people are sometimes envious of others who seem to get all the breaks. They are easily irritated. How this works is that they build up heat inside slowly and suddenly flare into an angry outburst. Then the iron hand of self-discipline comes down and they quickly get a grip on their emotions and the cycle of spontaneous combustion starts all over again. Saturn and Aries people make good military types because they are disciplinarians. Seldom do they show their feelings except in a corrective, critical way. They know the value to authority of clipped aloofness. If they do not try to relax their self-imposed constriction, they will become overbearing. As a parent, they can be too strict as a human being, not intent on maintaining their position against whatever the odds. A happy marriage is seldom in the cards for Saturn and Aries type people. Their mate may be jealous or project their feelings of insecurity onto them. Their reluctance to join in the usual social activities does not help, and their tendency towards grumpiness in light-hearted company, and their tendency towards quickly finding fault and plunging into arguments doesn't help either. At heart, these people prefer to be alone or with a crony who shares their rather jaded views on life. Underneath, they are somewhat distrustful of people and inclined to be selfish. Saturn and Aries people have good reasoning ability, though their mind may not possess the depth their manner might suggest. However, when left alone, they can be quietly contemplative, and this helps to stabilize their emotions. These people are quite sure of themselves, and when dealing with practical matters, it is the inner stresses and strains that they have the most difficulty coping with. Saturn and Aries people are diplomatic when they want to be, and quite impressive. Their reserved and austere manner suggests hidden strengths, capability, and wisdom. They would like to occupy a position of power in a large organization. These people want to be admired for their accomplishments, particularly for their sense of responsibility. They yearn to transform their outer show of these qualities into an inner reality. I have a great many videos now on many different topics, and so I've decided to make several different video playlists so that it's easy to find the videos of greatest interest. So please check out my playlist page. Well, that's it for now. To stay up to date with my latest videos, make sure to subscribe to this free YouTube channel by clicking the red subscribe button right below this video. Take care.